It's now time for the Brown Brothers and Friends Saturday morning talk show. Get ready to laugh yo off.
He said it must be Halloween because here come the spooks.
It was a dream. I dreamt the whole thing. I was poor and no one liked me. I lost my job. I lost my house. Penelope hated me. And it was all because of this terrible, awful Negro.
And we'll put up with the retard in the meantime. Who's the retard? You.
But y'all don't say that.
Shut up. Wake up my dad and get me grounded.
You have a special bond with this bush?
No, I just thought that it
You're the king of the forest?
I'm sorry?
What?
You fucking tree hugger?
Is this your special bush?
So it's $10 for a BJ, $12 for an HJ, $15 for a ZJ.
What's a ZJ?
If you have to ask, big man, you can't afford it.
He had sex with my mama. Why, God? If you listen, help!
Oh, wait, but you said you only had sex with 3 different guys. You never mentioned him.
Because I never had sex with him.
You sucked his dick.
We went out a few times. We never had sex, but we fooled around.
Oh, my God. Why did you tell me you only had sex with 3 different guys?
Because I did only have sex with 3 different guys. That doesn't mean I didn't just go with people.
Oh, my God, I feel so nauseous.
Sorry, Dante. I thought you understood.
I did understand. I understood that you had sex with 3 different guys, and that's all you said.
Please calm down.
How many?
Dante.
How many dicks have you sucked?
Go.
How many?
Wait, shut up a second and I'll tell you. Jesus. I didn't freak out like this when you told me how many girls you fucked.
You got candy?
Yeah, I do that right now.
Time to get correctly.
We don't got no goddamn band. We don't need to fucking practice, Randy. We don't need a shit-ass manager neither. You motherfuckers. Y'all just a bunch of losers.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, we back. And it's Saturday morning. I know all y'all just waking up, you're still yawning and everything of that nature, but hey, wake up. We finna kick it. We got a house full this morning, man. We got everybody in the studio and we finna have a good time. Man, if you don't know, you know what? I'm not even finna do it like that. I'm going to introduce who we got later, but first, I gotta go and talk to my brother, man, and ask him the question like I always do. Bruh, how's your week so far?
Once again, it's like, I don't know. After Wednesday, I just lose all track.
You lose all track?
Yeah.
What is going on with you,
I don't
bro?
know, man. I don't understand what happened to Monday and Tuesday, but Wednesday, I do know I went to work and I was bored, and then went to work Thursday, bored, Friday, bored, till you came over, and we kicked it, and then that's about it.
Okay, so basically, you are losing track of days and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, man, it's the corona shit, man.
Now,
slowing me down.
Now, I'm. You sure it's not the stroke? Because you know the whole stroke thing.
No, man. I don't think it's a stroke no more. It's just coronavirus got me going backwards or something like that. It's like Groundhog Day for me after Wednesday.
Now, I said that we got somebody in the studio today, right? And I can't just introduce this man as just another guest, okay? Because first of all, I'm gonna say this. The way that I was introduced to this guy, you know, it was late night. I was watching TV, you know what I'm saying? A&E. I don't know what the fuck I was doing watching A&E, but yes, I was watching A&E, probably flipping through channels, right? Mm-hmm. And I saw some of the countryest shit I've ever seen in my life, right? Now, people who know me, they know, hey, I'm a country boy myself, but this shit was just beyond me. It was more country than I've ever experienced in my life. And I was like, man, let me check this out. And when I turned it on, I was like, first of all, they wasn't talking like me. They was way more country than I was. But the music that was coming from the show, I couldn't turn away. And it's one of those things where you like, man, should I be watching this? why am I drawn to this? And then I just said, you know what? I'm just going to accept it. I'm going to watch the show, and now I'm a big fan. And before we bring him on, you know, this is how we got to do it. I got to bring him on in the fashion of the Brown Brothers show. Let's get him on. Let's get him on the mic, and everybody, let's introduce y'all to Big SMO.
Hey, it's good to be here. How y'all doing? Wake up, wake up. The early bird gets the worm.
Uh-oh.
We are in here.
Now, SMO, before we get started, I want to say I appreciate you for coming through and hanging out with us, because for people who don't know, now this guy could be doing whatever the hell he want to do because he got a lot of stuff that he got going on and everything of that nature, but he took time out of his schedule to come hang out with me and my brother today. And not only that, he brought like so much stuff in here. Like usually, you know, we give stuff out and stuff like that, but he brought gifts. Like, I mean, he gave us his book and he autographed it, gave us a picture, gave us hats, as you can see. I got the hat on right now. Man, I mean, this is the first time we had somebody come to the studio and bring us a lot of it's the second time because, you know, when they brought that food in at that time, I can't knock that.
What you talking about, cupcakes or donuts?
Damn, we did have cupcakes. Also, I just lied. Okay, so he's the third person to bring us something, not something to eat, but bring us a lot of gifts. And man,
he brought us souvenirs. You know what I'm saying? It's cool that we can wear.
Exactly.
Cupcakes is not souvenirs.
My wife told me that I needed to bring you some of my barbecue sauce.
You didn't bring no barbecue sauce?
We didn't. I wanted to build the relationship first and make sure that you were cool enough to get that sauce.
Don't worry about that.
See,
so hold up. You got barbecue sauce as well?
Yes, I have my own barbecue sauce. I have for a long time. We actually had an episode about it on the TV show. Not knocking that you didn't catch every episode, but we did have an episode about it. And I've had this barbecue sauce recipe that a homeboy of mine we used to whip up for a local restaurant in Shelbyville, Uncle Sonny's Barbecue actually. And then we took that sauce and kind of went on our own with it. And I bought out his side of it and just kind of took it on myself. And now me and my wife, you know, whenever we're out on tour, she runs the merch table. She sells the sauce while we're on tour now.
So she's selling sauce while you're on tour?
She's the sauce boss.
She's the sauce boss. Okay, gotcha.
She's the sauce boss.
Now, you got your wife and she's in business with you, and that's you know, hey, that's dear to my heart, because as you know, when we talk, my wife, it's really funny. Let me tell, okay, people, I'm gonna tell y'all how this actually came about. I lied on an email and I said I'm Joy Brown was director of celebrity personnel. That's how I did. I don't even know what the hell that is. I just made it up. And I was like, it sound good, and it might catch somebody's attention. So I was like, man, we want you on the show. Can you give us some information about how we can contact me? And y'all responded right back, and it was cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, she was your manager, and manager of merchandise. So is that what you said? Yeah.
Brand manager.
Yeah, that's it. Brand manager.
That's one of those made up things.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here like, oh shit. I got the brand manager on. So I looked at my wife. I was like, man, what the hell am I supposed to say? She said, well, just sound professional and send them another email. So I was like, all right. So I'm sitting here spell checking, making sure I don't spell anything wrong, because I don't want to be like, who these ignorant motherfuckers over here to send them? So
and we're at home in a shack smoking weed, reading your email. we were like, look, yeah. She was like, wow, he's got a really nice email. We should probably holler back at him. Because we get, you know, like people may think when they're like, oh, we're dealing with this brand manager that someone's in an office, they're behind a desk. Like, nah, she's rolling a joint, trying to check her email and respond at the same time as professional as she can be.
Isn't it amazing how professional you can be when you rolling a joint and respond to emails? And I'm sitting there taking a shit and sitting there like, okay. So I mean, it's great.
It is great. That's the new norm that we adjusted to the last time. It was like to be able to do anything anywhere.
Right.
I just wrote a song taking a shit the other day.
That's when you think the better.
Yeah,
you know
I had to
saying?
get a verse in on a feature, and I was like, man, I got to really concentrate. I was like, what better way? Pulled it out, got 16 hot ones right there on the squat. You know, like
Is there an in there somewhere?
yeah, definitely an ad lib. Oh yeah, I think it was an A because it was one of I'm vegan now, so it was one of them shits.
Hey, vegan shits are crucial because like I've been eating vegan sausage for like the past week, and those shits ain't like a normal shit.
No.
You know, vegan shit, you be like, there's something in the air. You know, it's a different type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So people,
It's like shitting out of compost.
So people, if you haven't had a vegan shit, I suggest you go out there and have one. I'm not gonna say it's great because I don't like taking shit.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. It's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
You know what else is different?
What's that?
My wife just had a bidet installed in our toilet. Now,
oh shit!
If you ain't never had a hot water booty hole wash, then I expect you to go to Amazon and order you a Tushy.
A Tushy.
Tushy.
Can you? Is it easy to install those?
Yeah. I called one of my homeboys just because there was like some drilling involved and stuff, and he's a plumber, and I was like, nah, there's no sense in me drilling a hole, trying to turn water off and hook up a thing. But she had looked it up online, and she was like, I watched 2 women install this, so I don't know why you're calling your plumber friend, but you know, I got a plumber friend, so when installing a bidet, you call him.
Now, Smoke, let me. Because you said it's hot water that shoots in your ass.
You got the option.
You got the option.
Yeah, you can have cold, or you can get it lukewarm, or you can get it hot.
I think I'll take lukewarm because hot water, I don't know if I want hot water shooting in my ass. And I damn sure don't want cold water shooting
Can
in
I
my
be
ass.
honest?
What's it?
I won't even use it. I used it one time, and I'm real paranoid of the water hitting my booty hole and then spraying doo-doo on the backside of my balls. Now, I know that y'all said this was a rated R show, but I don't know if we have gotten past that rating because now...
Nah, you good.
No, you
okay,
good.
cool.
We talked about that.
This is real life.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, last week we talked about MILF pussy, so
Okay.
I mean, so you good.
Damn
We're
sure
good.
about that.
So yeah, I have a paranoia right now of this lukewarm water hitting me right on my asshole and like where I took a shit, blowing that forward on the back of my balls. And it just all sounds like a dirty day.
Yeah, it does.
You know, and it's but for a lady, I feel like this might be really pleasant for them, you know, because they don't have balls in the way to catch any kind of extra anything.
Well, not the old school ladies. These new ladies do. You know they.
Yeah, these new ladies, they got them. They got them. So yeah, we got our toilet is like a spaceship. We got a squatty potty, and if you're not hip to that, you need to YouTube that and watch the commercial. Because if you've never seen a unicorn shit rainbow ice cream, that's fun in itself. So we bought the squatty potty and now the bidet, the Tushy. So taking a shit in my house is like, it's like space age pimping.
You know what? It's funny because you wouldn't expect that after watching the show.
No, that shit ain't mine. That ain't mine. That's her stuff.
Now, the whole bidet and all that, it's funny because like my wife is getting me at the end of this month a colonic. I don't know if y'all know what that
Colonoscopy?
is. Yeah. So
yeah, I had one.
Have you?
But yes.
Oh, so now she's scaring the hell out of me because she's saying, they go in, they flush you out, and
so the flush out is the hardest part. The tough part is the day before when you got to drink the jug of that Gatorade tasting stuff, and then you shit your entire insides out like real violently. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you just go a lot. It's like when you go, it's like real violent.
You ever drunk magnesium citrate?
I haven't. Sounds fun.
Yeah,
no,
it sounds real
not.
fun.
No, it's not.
Your stomach turns upside down, and you sitting there, and don't be playing video games or trying to fart while you doing it.
Yeah,
because shit gonna go everywhere.
It might be. That might be what it is. It's a whole jug of something that you drink, cleans you out. The next day you go in. Now, let me tell you from experience. Now, I don't know if you're a smoker, but don't smoke a blunt before you go get your colonoscopy, right? Because it'll throw your heart rate off. Right?
Oh shit!
And when you throw your heart rate off, they don't want to put you under. Right?
Okay.
But when you've gone through the trouble of the previous day of drinking that jug and blowing out your ass, you'll do anything to not have to do that again. Right? So I get in there and I'm high and I shouldn't have been. And they were like, you know what, Mr. Smith, your blood pressure, your heart rate is real low. We can't putting you under. We're gonna have to reschedule." And I was like, I ain't drinking that shit again. I ain't doing that again. What can you do? And well, we can give you a local sedative that'll relax you. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let's do that. And I had never had this procedure done before. So they give me this local sedative, and I'm kind of, it's kind of like a real strong Valium or something. Like I'm feeling it and everything. And they push me into this room, and there's like a monitor just like this in front of me, like a 17-inch monitor, and I'm laying there sideways, and I'm like, what's on the TV? I was like, what is that? And I look down, I'm like, oh, it's the floor on the TV? How did they do that? And then the floor moves, and I see the room, and I see my butt cheeks, and then we're in like a time-space continuum. I'm watching, and they just shove this garden hose in my booty hole, and it's off to the races. They're inside you. They're in you.
They make you watch you.
Well, I mean, I wasn't out. I wasn't all the way out. I was like groggy and out, kind of, but I was like, because that's what I'm saying. Don't smoke a blunt before you go in, because your heart rate, if it's down, they won't put you out. They'll tell you, hey, we're going to have to do this another time. And once you have that violent jug the day before, you'll know what I'm saying. You'll be like, oh, yeah, there's no way I would do that again.
Oh, my goodness.
It's rough, man.
Man, I'm not looking forward to that.
Congratulations.
I don't want to scare you off from it because it's important. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely important.
Well, I mean, you didn't scare. I was already scared. I mean, anything with my ass is scary. So I'm like, and you just intensified the horror. So it's like
you're gonna be all right though.
Hold up, I don't know if I should take that.
You're gonna be all right.
I don't know how I should take it. I'm like, oh, you're gonna be all right.
You're gonna be all right.
Well, he made it through. So
I made it through, and I didn't change my lifestyle at all. And I found out that I was extremely healthy. So it was a rewarding thing to find out, because it was a time in my life where my health was off. I don't know if you guys know, but I've had quadruple bypass open heart surgery.
Jesus.
Yeah, 5 years ago. So I've already had, heart surgery, which all of this leads to why I'm a plant-based human, and now I'm going, trying to live. I like to call it plant-based more than vegan, because I'm sure I still got a leather something somewhere, like a leather belt or a leather shoe. So, to say being vegan, that means that you don't use any kind of animal products for anything. But my thing is just a diet.
Right.
And it's more or less for health purposes, because I'm 44. Like I said, I already had open heart surgery. I had been overweight my whole life. Like I was 385, 87 during the TV show.
Right.
And now I'm 271 this morning. Oh,
damn, man! Everybody comes in here is way less than me. That be making me mad. Because I'm 285.
I was 285 like a couple months ago, because I had gotten to where I was eating kind of vegan junk food. Because you can be a fat vegan real easy. Oh yeah, mashed potatoes, French fries, all that shit is vegetables. It ain't got no animals in it. If you play your cards right. So, but the new thing for the past month and a half has been drinking 16 ounces of celery juice first thing in the morning.
Okay, I ain't even know celery had juice. It's
You gotta juice it. Yeah, you throw it in a juicer, and it's all water. It's just like
celery is all water.
It's all water. Yeah.
Me and Bob have been planning to get a juicer for a while now. We just throw it in a blender now.
It's a game changer. Get the juicer, and it takes the what is it, baby? The pulp out.
It
takes a lot of the meat of it out, which a lot of people say that you should eat all of that, which the rest of the day I'm eating vegetables and fruits. That's all I really eat. But celery juice first thing in the morning, that is to help clean your gut out. They say that after doing that for a month, that you can reset your stomach.
Really?
There's a lot of science behind it, yeah. My wife, she's the smart one. She just tells me what to do.
But shit, bullshit. You teaching us all this.
Only because she taught me. I am repeating what she has taught me, and it's been a month and a half that, like, you wake up and you drink 16 ounces of celery juice, and then you just don't do anything else for, like, I've gotten to where I can drink that celery juice and then slide for about an hour and a half, 2 hours before I even have my coffee now.
Wow.
Then I'll have my coffee, and then I'll wait like another hour, and then I'll eat. By that time, it's like 10, 11 o'clock, you know, and I've been up for 3 or 4 hours and I haven't eaten anything. You know, I've had that celery juice. I still struggle with caffeine. I really like having coffee, you know, like in the morning.
See, I don't drink coffee, and I struggle with like fruit drinks, like fruit punch and stuff like that. I drink water. I love water, but fruit punch, any kind of strawberry soda or something like that gets me.
Yeah, and I found recently that like it's a packet, like a little powder packet, and it's just a flavor water, you know. But you got to be careful on a lot of that stuff, man. They sneak stuff in on you. Like we found some flavored water that we drank a lot of, and once we started going plant-based, we found out that they put sheep's lanolin, like sheep wool, in this water.
What?
Yeah, it's a form of, like, I guess vitamin D3, but it's derived from sheep's wool. I'm like, why would you put
water?
Yeah, why would you put sheep's wool in water? It just sounds weird, right?
Yeah.
So we stopped drinking it. You know, and it's that ice water that you get from all the grocery stores. It's like the brand is called Ice, and it's like sparkling flavored water. Got sheep's wool in it. I never knew. I drank like a gang of that shit all the time.
I do too. I used to drink a lot of it.
Loved
I done
it.
calmed down a lot of drinking powdered flavored water. But I ain't been drinking it lately. Like last week, you see me, I just drank a plain bottle of water. So
water's just the way to go. Like, you know, we've just been domesticated to be spoiled with flavors and stuff like that, for no reason at all. Because, like, what do we drink? We're only drinking because our body needs water. So while we're drinking something that's like got to be flavored, got to have sugar, got to have caffeine, got to have it's all it's really all bullshit. But it's because we've been domesticated to be that way, you know. Like my dad taught me that drinking alcohol was cool, you know, just because I watched him drink alcohol my whole life. So you just get domesticated into that. Like I grew up, my parents would pour me a glass of milk. So, you know, you grow up thinking that milk is what you're supposed to drink. You know,
I can't do the whole milk thing.
Yeah, we don't drink milk now. We drink, you know, we don't do any dairy.
I was
now.
raised on sweet tea.
Yeah, well, sweet tea too, and now I don't drink sweet tea. I'm
not gonna pass it up.
It's tough.
You know, I've never
it's tough.
drank
Milo's is crack.
I can't do the whole.
You get the
sweet
real.
tea.
You get the real.
Yeah, my uncle make it.
Oh yeah.
It's like moonshine. You know what I'm saying? You
I
gotta sneak
couldn't
over there and
pull.
get that shit before everybody else get it.
I couldn't pull away from that.
Speaking of moonshine, Smo, you don't dabble in that anymore.
I used to, but I can get you some.
Yeah,
I got you.
I really appreciate that.
No, I got you. People give it to me all the time. Like it's tough to explain to your fans that you have to change. You know, we all evolve, right? But when life steps in front of you and stops you like a open heart surgery, you have to make changes, you know. So even back then, like 5 years ago, I quit drinking alcohol, and drinking alcohol was part of my brand.
Right.
You know, seeing me with the jar, the moonshine, and all that, and like on stage drinking whiskey. I didn't drink really off the clock. I only drank professionally. But when I drank professionally, I showed out.
Right.
You know, but like when I never would like go home and drink a 6-pack of beer, or I wouldn't go home and have like 3 or 4 mixed drinks. You know, it was only whenever I was on stage, whenever I was, you know, having to be SMO. You know.
Well, let's talk about SMO. Now, YouTube, you got SMO Motion TV, right? How long have you been doing that?
That's been about 14, maybe 13 years.
13 years?
Yeah.
Because I seen you on there doing all kind of stuff. You got a cooking channel that you be doing, which is crazy. I was looking at, and I like watching YouTube, trying to get, you know, tips on how to cook different things and everything like that. But, man, I look at your channel, man, and I'm like, I'm seeing all kind of stuff that you're doing. You had one where you went to Mexico and you filmed all that. That was funny. I sat there and watched the whole thing. Dude, you got so much going on, man. How do you find time to just get all this stuff in, man?
I mean, it's just life content. You know, luckily my brand was built around my life. So all I have to do is share what's actually happening. We don't have to like put something together. You know, we don't have to.
It's not an act.
It's not an act.
Yeah.
So we just all you have to do is push record. You know, like
Right.
all you got to do is point the camera and start shooting, and then you're just gonna naturally get what my brand is.
Gotcha.
You know, so that was the good thing about building this brand years ago. It was just several people telling me, you know, just be yourself.
I think that's very important too, because when you're trying to be something that you're not, it doesn't come off as authentic. So with you just being yourself, I mean, people know what they're getting.
Yep.
So either you're gonna like it or you're not. You know what I'm saying? So and I'm fine with that. You know, because not everybody's gonna like you, but when you're trying to be something that you're not, or if it's rehearsed or you're reading a script, it's a headache. I've been on reality shows where they reality shows, but they give us a script.
Yeah, they're scripted.
So I've hated it. You know what I'm saying? And so
at the end of the day, it's regardless if they call it a reality show, it's TV.
Exactly.
You gotta, and you know, a lot of people have a hard time separating reality TV from soap opera. You know, because it's been pitched to them as reality TV, but the reality of that is that it's just a produced show in order to tap into a fan base to just get numbers. I mean, it's not even about sharing a lifestyle. Like my TV show, once it was taken, because you got to know, we did our own 18 episodes of the TV show before the TV show. It's called Country Living, Behind the Scenes. There's 18 episodes on YouTube. And we did all of the production ourselves. We did it, everything ourselves. And then we used a collection of those, kind of like you were talking about. Somebody wanted to see like your highlight reel.
Right.
We used kind of like a very well put together highlight reel that we made it more look like a sizzle reel. And then I took that and pitched it in Hollywood, and they bit as soon as they watched it. VH1 bit first.
Did they?
A lot of people don't know the history of the show. Like, I shot for VH1 first, and it was a complete fucking disaster. They made us look like backwood idiots, right? Like just drunk, drama, garbage, you know.
Well, that sells. That's what they wanted.
That's what they wanted. They wanted another like MTV, you know, show or some weird shit.
Right.
And it's just not. It wasn't my brand. Like that would have been great for someone else. But I had already created this brand that was very homegrown, hometown, grassroots, family oriented, and like the VH1 production crew, they tried to like really exploit that in the wrong way. So CMT picked it up after them. They tried to do the exact same thing.
CMT?
Yeah, and we were like, yo, do y'all not get what we're doing here? Like, this is not what we want to do. So I told, it got as far as like a sizzle reel and a pilot with both VH1 and CMT, and we were like, nope, we're not gonna let this fly. This is gonna destroy my brand, you know. So I knew somebody at A&E that was affiliated with some of the people that I did music with. They reached out and they were like, we want to take a shot at this. And we were like, okay, look, here's where the last two production people messed up. Let us write this shit. You can't tell my story.
Right.
You got to let us write this shit. You send the production team down to film it, and then we'll have something. But you got to let us write it. You can't write my episode. You just don't. You don't know me like that.
Right.
So at the time, I had a manager that was from LA. He helped me facilitate a lot of this stuff. He wrote a lot of the business side, the music business side, and then I wrote all of the family side of the story of every episode. And then that worked, you know, when we were able to write it. So I learned how to write a TV show, like just off of because I had to.
Right.
And got really good at it, you know, like got good at writing episodic stuff and being able to figure out what the stakes are and like how to overcome the stakes and all the cliffhangers. And, you know, because that's all that shit is.
Right,
you know,
right.
It's all like the episode starts and everything's hunky-dory, and all of a sudden there's a wrench in the gears, and they're like, oh, how are we gonna fix this? And then like, ta-da, I come out of nowhere with the cape on. I'm like, don't worry.
One of my favorite.
We're gonna put goat shit on everything, and it's gonna be great. And everybody's like, hey.
One of my favorite episodes is when you were trying to get the song down. Y'all had to rehearse and everything, and you just said, damn it, we're going to the woods, we're gonna have a bonfire, and we go and that was pretty cool. I thought that was hilarious, man.
You want to know something that's real backdoor about that?
What?
That was the one thing out of my show that was fake as fuck.
Really?
That episode, because it was about writing a song with Darius Rucker. It was like, man, I got this opportunity to write this feature with Darius Rucker, Hootie and the Blowfish. I'm a big fan. What am I going to do? I don't know how to write a song. Let me pull my squad together. We'll go sit in the woods and drink alcohol around a fire, and we'll write the perfect song. Nah, hell no. I wrote that song in Costa Rica, swimming in a pool in the jungle. In a glass house.
Hell no.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
Man, that's bullshit. I ain't gonna let you go out like that. But that was like one of the made up things on the TV show. It was like, well, how do we introduce this Darius Rucker song? Because we can't say that you were in Costa Rica, staying in a glass house, swimming in a pool with, you know, I mean, there were whatever kind of monkeys they were in the trees above me while I was swimming in this pool. And I said, man, if this was my house, I'd call all my people up and say, hey, come on over to my place. And I was like, that's a song right there. Swam over to the edge, grabbed my phone, and just started writing lyrics. And I wrote that Darius Rucker feature while I was in Costa Rica. So
that is cool as shit.
They had to make that shit up for the TV show because they were like, oh, we want to get Darius on the show. How do we make it work? And I was like, well, y'all gonna have to make some shit up because I know y'all ain't got the budget to fly me back to Costa Rica. And that's not gonna work for this brand. Like people are gonna be like, why is he in Costa Rica?
Now let's talk about some of your newer projects because for people who don't know, like myself and a lot of our audience who and first of all, let me just say this: a lot of the audience that listen to us, they listen to some of those mumble rappers. I'm not a big fan of mumble rap, and I've said this before. This new style of rap, I don't think it's rap. It shouldn't be called rap. It should be called pop music or something like that. Ron D, who was on here with us this past Friday, he said it's just popular music. You know, whoever's popular, whoever's getting the most likes, that's what the music is. Now, I'm not shitting on anybody who's getting bread or getting money. Do your shit, get your money, but let's be real, man. I need lyrics, and I need to be able to understand people or relate. And that's what I do with your music. I relate. But here's the thing. I'm looking at music, and I'm still bumping stuff that came out 10 years ago. So now you got stuff that's here recently, and I'm just now catching up. So it's kind of embarrassing to have you on the show and be like, oh, yeah, I remember this song. And you be like, well, shit, I got some shit that's way better than that. And I'm like, oh. And people, just so you know, brother came in here bearing gifts, and yes, he got us all the CDs and everything. So hey, now Smo, we got a show on Friday called Flex on a Friday. Mm-hmm. Might be playing some of your music on there.
Oh, I'd love to be a part of that.
Oh, most definitely, because like I said, we play all kind of music, so you might hear some of your music on that show
that'd
as well.
Great. Yeah, that'd be great. You got a lot to choose from.
I see. Yeah. And we got a lot of independent artists that come through and everything as well, so they're going to get to hear your music also, so it's going to be great. But let's get into some of your new projects now, man, because you said you got one. Now, one of the CDs that you got you as a young child on there?
Yeah, you know, I have been using, and if you look at the history of my album covers, it's like, you know, in the beginning, you're like, ooh, I got to put myself on the album cover. Mm-hmm. So my first album back in 2002 had me and my whole squad that I was rapping with, and that disc is not there because it's not available anymore. But we had goats and tractors on 26s and like a F-150 on 22s and like my whole squad standing on the front porch of that same shack that I still work in today. And it's, you know, like the next project, it was me and my producer and then us on the front. And the next project was like, I think at one point I was like, yo, I got to stop using my face because I'm not that great looking. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't helping sell anything.
Hold on, the wife is back. She's nodding with her head. Are you... Well, yeah, you married him, so.
Well, we're talking about the old me. The 2007 me was nothing to catch your attention. But so fast forward to the new project. I had never used a picture of me as a child, and I love that where Notorious, where Biggie did it. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that, the simplicity of it. And then even like with the Carter albums, we looked at those great projects, and I was like, I want to do something visually that's like that, but it doesn't it's not like stealing the idea, but I have never really got to like use the me before it was SMO for anything. So found this picture that my mother had taken of me when we lived in California, and I just I don't remember the picture. I was probably 3 years old, sitting in the window with my, just looking out the window, probably looking at her working in the yard, and she took a picture of me, and it was just a perfect representation of, like, I feel like that's probably what my soul looks like. Is like the 3-year-old me running around with blonde hair and just, smiling. And I thought that I was like, man, that is a great representation of like how I feel, like as a person, as that picture of me as a child. So I decided to use that as the artwork for it. So that was new. And then the project itself, we had done this whole project, me and my buddy that's my producer, David Ray. We had done this whole project. We had some great features. Like I said, I had a song that I did with Afro Man that was it's called Colorado Bound. Song with DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia that was a rendition of Tear the Club Up, but it's Tear the Mud Up, where we did some real experimental stuff with the production, where we mixed country rap, kind of like dubstep techno and hip hop, like, all of that together. It was like a real melting pot of sound, and
I can't wait to listen to this album, man.
It's a great album. And then there's a song on that. There's like the title record, This One's For You, is a really personal record about like my battle with addiction and just the battle, human, what we battle with as humans.
Now, what type of addiction were you battling?
Just I had some drug addiction problems back early in my career. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. It's not a good thing,
right?
Which we don't participate in any kind of chemical party favors these days. We're completely plant based.
Well, you survived. I mean, even with the whole triple bypass and everything, man. I mean, because I've had 2 heart attacks. So that and like I said, my brother had a stroke. So that caused us to look at life differently and say, hey, we got to change up a lot of things that we're doing.
Right.
So I definitely feel you when you're talking about that. And just coming from that, I mean, because I think about it, I'm used to run up and down the streets doing comedy shows. I'm popping energy drinks like it's water, just so I can stay awake. My brother see me at times. I just jump up. He's like, "Where you going?" "Oh, I got to go to Chicago." He's like, "Right now?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I jump in the car and just drive up there. But I'm popping these energy drinks, not knowing it's throwing my heart out of rhythm. So and you can get addicted to energy drinks as well.
You get addicted to anything.
Yeah, and I think I was, but I definitely understand, having to kick something and the struggles of being in the entertainment business, because, a lot of people don't understand, you have to be on that stage regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you're going through, what you're thinking about, what you're feeling, when you booked, you got to be there. Yeah. So I definitely get it, man, and I'm glad you kicked that. So
yeah, we've had, I've had a lot of challenges in life, when cocaine, tobacco, alcohol, meat. I mean, I was addicted to meat. I'd eat 4 different dead animals in one setting, and I didn't even realize it. But when you have, mixed fajitas and some chorizo cheese dip, you got your whole face in the barnyard.
Dang.
And you don't think about that, because you're just domesticated to, like, eat a bunch of animals, but you don't think about it. You just don't. None of us think about it. Like,
I sure as hell don't think
where
about it.
where
I really didn't.
you don't.
When you said that, I'd be like, man, damn, I had a steak and chicken burrito though.
Yeah. You don't think about it, but you know when you do think about it, you're like, oh shit, wait a minute, I just put cow, pig, and chicken all in, some on something else and covered it with cheese. And, so like
Smoke making us feel like shit in here, man.
No, I want you to feel good, and I'll tell you, I don't try to push it on anybody because it's new to me. I'm only in like my 7th month of eating plant-based, but I'll tell you this much: I'm a grown man who suffered from acid reflux, and that will take a grown man to a baby. The pain of acid reflux. I mean, I have been doubled over and I have vomited acid from from that. That's how bad my acid reflux had got. And that's on top of taking acid reflux medication. So 3 days after removing meat from my diet, dairy from my diet, eggs from my diet, 3 days, my acid reflux started to reduce. And then I was able to cut my medication for that in half for the first time in like 7 years. I was never able to like come down off my meds for acid reflux. And now I rarely have it. Ate a hot chili pepper yesterday on accident. and I was like, oh, I'm going to hurt from this. And I didn't. And you learn, you figure it out. You're like, oh shit, it's not the pepper, it's not the tomatoes that are in it. I was like, I can't eat that pizza if it's got red sauce on it. That red sauce had me tore up. No, motherfucker, it's the 7 dead animals. You got bacon, pork, and ham. That's 3 different kinds of pig, and they ain't the same pig. They from 3 different states, 3 different farms. You got hamburger meat on it, and all this stuff, and you don't know where any of that come from. So that was a big eye opener. That was a big eye opener for me. And I tell you what was a good way for me to start. I come home from duck hunting. I got a truck bed full of ducks. We're about to cook these ducks. I walk in the house, and my wife says, "You got to watch this documentary on Netflix."
Did you say what the hell? Is that what it was?
Game Changer.
Game Changer? Oh, okay. Because my wife made me watch that shit too.
Yep, Game Changer. And I sat there and I watched it, and then halfway through that, I was like, I just started thinking about it. I was like, damn, I never even thought about like not eating meat. It just never entered my mind.
You ever thought about that, bro?
Not eating.
A couple of times, but shit.
I had never thought
so
about
used to it, man.
I had never even entertained the thought of not eating meat or dairy because I was addicted to cheese. And there's a reason that you get addicted to cheese. It's because it has something called casein in it. And casein reacts to the part of our brain that reacts to opiates in the same way. So just like people get addicted to opiates, we get addicted to casein because it attacks that same receptor in your brain. Casein. So you wonder, you've heard people say, shit, I could quit eating that, but you ain't gonna make me stop eating cheese. That's the same thing heroin people say. Like, shit, I put that down, but I ain't gonna stop doing heroin.
Big Small, I ain't finna suck a dick for cheese.
Yeah. You'd be surprised, man. You ain't have one of these grilled cheeses I got. But you just don't think about it, because and then that's just the first layer, you know what I'm saying? And then when you want to really peel back the second layer and you realize that the medical industry is what controls the diet, you know what I'm saying? Like Cancer Society is like, they're the ones that control dairy, like they're all in it. It's one big fucking suck, and they use you to keep, they keep feeding you cheese. Guess what? You're going to have some health issues, and then they're going to send you over to the next door. So it's food industry on one door, medical, field on the next. And they use that because they know you're going to eat it. You was raised to eat it. I was raised to eat. We would have bacon, sausage, and country ham.
Oh,
for breakfast.
That's a great breakfast.
Yo, with biscuits, gravy, fried eggs, and hash browns.
Woo.
And then you put all that together in a bowl, and then put some pancake syrup on top of it. Now you're fucking with the old me, you know. now we're talking flavor, you know. I'm talking about this shit is real.
Hey, that syrup. If that syrup ain't never hit them eggs, boy, you don't know what you're missing.
Right.
If you ain't never put grape jelly on your sausage and biscuit, then get the hell out of Tennessee. Right.
That people, I'm telling you, that is the shit happened by accident one time with me with the syrup and eggs, and I've been doing that shit
Can't
since.
turn back.
Oh.
Yeah, it's tough,
I had a
especially a
lady-
fried egg. A fried egg with the fringe.
Yeah.
That fringe gets that little burn to it. When that gets some maple syrup on it, that's a whole other ball game.
What'd you say
I
about
had,
that lady?
I had a lady at IHOP look at me funny as hell. She was actually the waitress. I said, "Can I have some syrup? Because I didn't have no pancakes." And she said, "What you finna put syrup on?"
In my water.
I had an omelet. You know what I'm saying? The Colorado omelet. It had about 7 different meats on
Yeah.
it. But I hit that bad boy with that shit like, oh my God. Like, okay, you already done served me. Get the hell away from me. Let me eat. You know what I'm saying?
She was curious. Now I guarantee she went in the back and tried that shit too. Now she's on board. She's on board. But I tell you, here's the thing. You find the things that you love in life to eat, right? You know what you love. You love the taste of like barbecued chicken, grilled steak, hamburger, pizza, burritos. Like it's the flavor that we love, right? The item is just to carry the flavor. Steak don't taste good. I mean, it tastes like steak.
It's what you put on it.
It's what you put on it. So when you realize that, and then you realize that you can take like black beans. If you cook black beans in a pressure cooker and you don't put any seasoning in them, those black beans, you can make them taste like anything. You could put cocoa powder on them, smush them down, and make them into brownies.
Black beans.
Yes. Now, when you realize that you can just make anything, and all you got to do is have the right seasoning, you know, then you're on to a whole new level of cooking.
Small. That black beans and brown. Have you done that?
Mm-hmm.
You made some?
I haven't made some, but I've had some.
All right, when I come up there to your spot,
you want me to make them?
Yeah, you got to make some. I'll try it. You know,
zucchini. Her zucchini brownies, zucchini muffins, I guess, where they taste like brownies. So good.
All right, I'm gonna try it when I come up there. All right.
And we have the garden. We grow all of our own vegetables. So we grow the zucchinis, the squash, the onions, the tomatoes, the peppers.
I've seen quite a few people starting a garden lately.
Yeah.
My homeboy starting a garden.
It's very therapeutic.
Really?
Very therapeutic.
Well, I'll tell you what else is therapeutic. Since we got Big Smo in the house, you know what time it is. We definitely have to play the game that we let everybody play when they come into the Brown Brothers studio. It is a fun game. Hey, we don't, pull any punches. If you dumb enough to commit a crime, we going to talk about it. So, it is now time to play the game. Is it black, white, Mexican, or any other race that walks the face of this earth? This is where we read a crime, and you try to guess what nationality it is or background it is that committed the crime. Smo, are you ready to play this game?
Absolutely.
All right, bro, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Now, you don't win shit. It's just fun to play. You know what? I'm actually finna start giving away prizes, though, for people who actually chime in and all that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that later. But right now, let's go to the first crime. Man threatens act of terrorism. I'm going to shoot everyone I can in downtown Nashville. Is this a white, black, Mexican, or any other race walks the face of the earth?
That's another race. Black people don't threaten to shoot everybody.
I just want to know when it's my turn to go.
Is your turn to go
That's
now?
a white dude.
That's
a white dude. First of all, what part of downtown Nashville? Was he in the Gulch?
It didn't say. Let me see.
Definitely white if he's in the
let's
Gulch.
See. It's he didn't. It doesn't say. It just,
He's white. I can tell he's white because he's mad. All white people are mad.
He's actually white, and I think you got an unfair advantage because you know what white people would do.
I know how we are. Listen, you want me to tell you the whole scenario?
Yeah, please.
All right, so he went to the Gulch. He went to that. What's the Mexican spot right there where they do the tableside guac? Cantina. He went to the cantinas. He asked for tableside guac. He didn't have on a face mask. First of all, he threatened him with a spoon because that's all he had. Then he went out to his F350 and got his pistol and came back and started demanding that tableside guac. That's what happened. Fucking never wore his mask the whole time.
I be damn. And
Mad as hell.
And how is he so right?
That tableside guac will make you act a fool if they won't give it to you because you look forward to that.
Right.
All right. Let's go to the next one. Woman attacks Academy Sports employee because they followed her and presumed she was shoplifting.
White lady.
Black.
Was that?
That's a white lady.
It's actually a black lady.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Following her.
All right, well, look.
Assume she was shoplifting.
I started off with Academy Sports. That's where I went.
That's a good.
I thought Academy
point.
Sports. That's gonna be a white lady.
But if a white lady is in Academy Sports, more likely, they ain't gonna think she's shoplifting.
Exactly.
They're gonna think she's over there.
She's there. She's getting tennis.
Yeah.
Tennis rackets.
Yeah, and outfits.
I want to know
work
what
out
she
in.
stole.
Yeah, well, apparently, she didn't steal anything. The charge was assault because she fought the lady for following her.
Oh well, yeah. Okay, I didn't. I
think
jumped
she
too
should be charged
quickly.
with
I
it.
jumped too quickly.
You don't think she
No.
be-
No.
Well,
Hell no.
I'm not the one to judge anybody's character from looking at them, but I'm just gonna show you the picture.
Hold on.
She one of those.
That lady caught an ass whooping. If that woman fought an Academy of Sports employee, fuck, a cat, man, I wish I'd have been there. We need to look in World Star for footage.
People don't film stuff in World Star anymore like that.
Really?
Man. Yeah, they done calm down on that a little bit. It kind of sucks.
You don't even hear people yell out World Star no
Yeah,
more.
you don't even hear people
That's
yell
why I
out World
stopped
Star.
watching it. It lost its vigor.
All right, Smo, you 1 for 1, man.
Okay.
It's the last one.
I need to pay attention. I need to not jump to conclusions.
All right. Man steals handgun from his lover's house, then passes him on the highway and shoots at him.
For one, it's already too many hymns.
You know, and that makes me think. That makes me think Hispanic.
Made me think
Too many hymns.
probably a white guy.
Man steals handgun from victim's house, then passes him on the highway and shoots at him.
Wait a minute. So he was at a house, stole a gun, then he left. When he left, he drove past the guy whose house he stole it. He broke into.
Right. The lover.
So there was a lover involved. Yeah. Okay, now it makes sense. Oh, man, this could go a lot of ways. I just want to say, because of all the numerous amounts of people involved, I'm going to say Hispanic.
Okay. What you got, bro?
White guy.
What you got?
I was going to go with Hispanic, too.
You was going to go with Hispanic? Crime of fact. Well, he's actually a white guy. Basically, what had happened was him and his lover had actually had a altercation. They had an argument, and apparently he told him to get out. So when he told him to get out, he stole the gun from the house, and then he caught up with him on the highway and shot at him.
Okay. There was a lot of hymns.
Yeah, there's no females involved.
Okay.
In this, so.
Yeah, see, I told you I got to pay attention to the details. I got to pay attention.
Yeah, I just saying there was a lot of hymns, man.
There was well, first of all, there was too many people involved. And I thought, well, that's got to be Hispanic. Like, why is there 12 people involved and one person getting shot here? You had to go to a lover's house, steal a gun from another guy, get in somebody else's car and drive by. There was a lot of people.
No, just two hymns.
Just two guys.
It was just two hymns. You know, and we're not gonna say his name because I don't want to get in trouble with the LGBTAZ whatever the letters are. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to get because hey, it's your business what you do in your own bedroom. But if you're stupid enough to commit a crime, we definitely gonna talk about it because there's no race when it comes to crime. It's all stupid. So, Smo, you got 1 out of 3.
I did terrible.
Well, no, because a lot of people get what they go over 3.
Yeah.
So you actually did pretty good, man.
The first one was easy. Downtown Nashville with a gun.
And you actually had the details to let us know exactly what happened, which was great.
Felt like I was close. I felt like I was close. Golly.
Now, because, you know, for time and everything, man, which we definitely going over today, which I don't care. But let's talk about your book, all right? You gave me a copy of the book right here, and I'm going to show it on camera. My Life in a Jar. Okay, let's take a look at this right here. So go pick it up, first of all right? Now, I'm glad you gave me a book, and here's an interesting fact. I have a show on Wednesday called The Melanated Powwow, right, with Sam Poe Jr. He's a big history buff. He's a historian. Got me reading now, because at first I would just watch it on TV, like,
right.
man, and I used to say the most ignorant shit, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, hey, you said, man, I don't be reading and shit. I used to say that all the time.
That's what I say. First book I ever read was my own.
Was the one you wrote?
Yeah, first one. And I didn't even write it. Like,
it was an auto.
My wife wrote it.
Oh, you wrote it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
Yeah.
So you just he talked to you and you wrote it.
Well, she edited it.
Okay.
It was a process. There was a co-author, my boy Jake Brown. He's the one that got me in the idea of writing a book. He was filming a documentary that I was a part of, and he introduced himself. He's like, "Yeah, I'm an author." I was like, "Ooh, an author? That's cool. I've always wanted to write a book. Like now that I've done enough shit.
You always want to do a lot of shit.
Yeah, I've always wanted to. It's crazy, and it happened. That's the crazy thing is like most of the times when I want to do something, I wind up making that shit happen. And so we wrote the book, and it was like 500 pages to start off with, right? And it was whack. It told way too much trash. It was way too much talk, right? So my wife, she was like, I don't want to be no part of it. Your book is your business, whatever. And then she was like, give me this book. I got to read it. I was like, can you help me with this, please? Because I don't want this to come back. And you got 44 years of life. There's a lot of good things. There's a lot of bad things. Right. It's like, what do you want? What do you want to live forever in the pages of a book? That your great grandkids could pick up and read your story. Do you want to talk cash money shit about people, or do you want to show the good stuff and leave people with the things that you want to remember about you, your legacy? You know what I'm saying? So she taught me an important thing about what you keep for yourself and what you share for society, and there's a way to share with society and still give them the full story without giving them the junk,
That's what's up.
And you just never know how you're going to feel tomorrow. You might hate somebody today. They may have done some real foul shit to you, and you just like, I ain't never going to be okay with this person. They might knock on your door tomorrow and tell you how sorry they were, and you might feel a whole different way. So you don't want to just put in paper. And same thing with songs. I don't do diss records. I don't like to talk trash about people in a record, because what if we feel a different way a year from now? Like, how are we going to be able to reflect back on this record where I'm like, fuck this dude, he ain't shit. And then we're like having a barbecue, and he's like, remember when you did this song about me?
Oh, the song comes
on. Yeah, man. So, remember that song right there? That's when I was like, yeah, fuck you. So it's like, you as an artist, you really want to just put your emotions out there, right? You want to paint your emotions on the wall. Right. But as a businessman, you have to know that painting's going to be there forever, and it's going to reflect, who you are and your brand and what you stand for. So, we dialed the book from 500 pages back to like 160.
It's 160?
Yeah, it's real light. A lot of pictures.
So it's an easy read.
Oh, you'll be done with it in a day. It's a good, it's a very easy. It's written on a 7th grade. It's written on a 7th grade reading level for my fans.
And you do have a lot of pictures. That's even better.
Yeah, it's a lot of pictures. My whole life,
I
know.
Sound ignorant as hell on the It's got pictures.
It's got pictures. That's how I felt about it. I was like, ooh, pictures, yay! So it was a lot of fun doing the book. It was very therapeutic. It was like a 2.5-year therapy session.
That's what's up. My Life in a Jar, man.
Yeah, and we did the audio book.
No, make people read. All right, damn it. If I'm gonna read it, they gotta read
the
it. The
audio book's not out yet.
Oh, okay,
but
cool.
we did it last year, and it's ready to go. And
did you freestyle it? Did you rap on it, or is it just you talking?
No, I read the book.
Did you?
I had to read, and that in itself was a challenge because I honestly never did read like much. I mean, I can read, but when I look at a page of words, I get nauseous, a little dizzy.
Don't feel bad. millions of Americans across America right now that when you have a corporate meeting and the CEO says, Mr. Johnson, can you read that for me? They get real quiet and they put their finger on the paper and they read real slow. A lot of people don't like to read in public.
Right.
They
I
don't.
don't like to read in public. I'm one of them people. I will not read in public.
Really?
I can read. But
Yeah, I mean, I can read. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and I know what I'm reading, but I just don't like to read. I like to watch and see and hear. You know,
Right.
that's how I learn. I'm very ADD too, so I don't like. I'll have a book and be watching the wind blow. I'm like, oh, look at the wind. Look at that. And I'm like, oh
What-
shit, where'd this book come from?
Where can they pick your book up at? Is it online?
Barnes and Noble,
Okay,
and then
cool.
it's online. You can get any of my stuff. You can get at smomart.com.
Yeah, well, we're gonna direct them there. Say it again.
Smo Mart, like Walmart,
Uh-huh.
but Smo Mart, SMOMART, smomart.com.
That's what's up. Now, but before we get into anything else, because like I said, we're gonna go over a little bit here today. I just want to give praises to the wife, okay? And the reason I say that is because for people, look here, for all you women talking about, I can't get a man, I ain't doing that. The blueprint is in support.
Right.
I mean, because like my brother, his wife, she supports the hell out of him. My wife supports the hell out of me, and apparently your wife supports the hell out of you. We don't ask for much, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of support, and it looks like y'all have a great support system, and she has a lot of titles. You got editor, you got brand manager, you got all that kind of stuff going for you, so that is great, man. And, I mean, I just want to say thank you so much because I don't think a lot of women get the credit that actually support their spouse. I don't think they get the credit they deserve, so... And I'm pretty sure he thanks you a lot and everything like that.
Thank
but
you,
I just
baby.
want the world to know
Thank you.
that it's great women out
Love
here
my
that
girl.
support. Yeah, it's great women out here to support the man, and behind every great man is a great woman. I won't even say
That's it.
behind because
Beside.
because that's what I was gonna say because our wives they appear to be us beside us going into battle,
Yeah.
side to side. So
Shit, might even be taking a step forward.
I mean, she does everything. She like I said, she runs the merch table on the road. She was a high school teacher.
Jesus.
Yeah, she's taught Spanish for what, 8 years?
You taught Spanish for 8
Yeah,
years?
8 years. She's a
My
high school
stars.
Spanish teacher. So she left her teaching career to come and support me. Like she left her entire career to come and travel around and sell my T-shirts and our book and
Smell
all that stuff.
I ain't support. You must put it down, bro.
Man.
You
We love each other a lot.
Smells like, yeah, so I'm gonna need you to quit that job.
I'm
man.
gonna need you to go ahead and stop speaking Spanish to these children. But it worked out for us because we both come from the same area. She's from Murfreesboro. I'm from Shelbyville, Bedford County. We have a lot in common. We're basically the same person. She's 10 years younger than me, so it gives me something that I have to keep up with and keeps me excited every day. And she just understands. We talk a lot, and if you talk a lot, if you communicate and you're honest and your partner knows what it is that you're looking for, like every day, she knows what I'm looking for from today. She knows what I'm going to be looking for from tomorrow, and then she knows what I'm looking for from the bigger picture. So as long as you communicate, that's part of the problem on us is that a lot of men, and I haven't always been a great communicator, we don't know how to communicate what we really need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right about that.
we can show you what we want, and we can tell you what we want, but like when it really comes to like sitting down and explaining what we need to the point where we can have you on board and to like grab the wheel, that takes a real communication. And that's what I give credit to when it comes to me and her, is that we've just learned how to communicate. That's all it is.
Because I think my biggest problem was my communication consisted of just a few words. I'd be like, "What? You know what? Fuck this shit."
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I handle any conversation. And
we usually stop ourselves because we feel like we're either going to say something that's going to hurt somebody's feelings, or we're going to say something to make ourselves look dumb. And you got to get past that, and you have to have the kind of relationship where you can just say, I'm about to say exactly what I'm feeling. And then that person has to know how to take what you say and then take the lesson from it, because there's a point to it. If you're feeling emotional about something, then there's a point to it,
Right,
and sometimes we don't know how to find the words to express what that is. But like when you can just talk honest and talk from your heart, and your partner is there to listen, they pick up on it, and then you can, it's a lot of apologies,
Right.
I say I'm sorry like every day,
So, ladies, if you listening out there, what he just told you is when you say something fucked up to your man and he look at you and give you a pause, that's when he's about to say some fucked up shit. But he's like, man, I ain't gonna get no sex.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna go sleep on the couch.
Yep.
Something bad gonna happen. So let me try to find something to say that ain't gonna be too fucked up.
Right, pretty much.
The best thing to do is to just smile.
Yeah.
To smile and just say, you know what? Let me think about this for a second. I don't like when you do this shit and you just smile and you say, you know what? Let me think about this for a second. I'll be right back. Because I've learned
something like, fuck it, I won't do it no more, and just walk
yeah,
off.
no, you get by yourself and you get a chance to really think about it and not react to it. That's the thing. It's like I am the worst at just responding and reacting. I'm better if I'm able to absorb it and say, give me 1 second, and then walk away and go sit by myself and say, should I slap the shit out of him? No, I shouldn't do that. What I should go do is walk in there and say, you know what, you're right, and I think we can find a good medium for us to meet at. And then you go back with that, and and they're expected to get, not her, but somebody. You'd be like, man, I'll slap the shit out of him for saying that shit.
Right.
But then you go back in and you're like, you know what? No, I think we can find a good spot because it's not worth the hassle of negativity,
So when did you get to that point though? What age period was it? Because I know I just got to that in my 40s.
It's like in your late 30s.
Yeah.
It like maybe it may have even been because of my situation. It may have even been like after the heart surgery, like 39, 40.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't happen early. It doesn't happen early, and it's the man. Unfortunately, it's the same thing that we all had. We all had like the uncle or the brother or something that said, now look, little homie, I'm going to give you the blueprint on life. And they give you like cash money knowledge. And that you ain't even hear that shit. You're thinking about your date later or something on, and all that knowledge goes right over your head. And then 25 years later, you're like, shit. If I'd have listened to Uncle Joe when he told me all of this knowledge, I would have been able to skip all this bullshit, By then, Uncle Joe's dead. You can't go tell him, man, you were right, But if there was a way for us at that moment, whenever somebody shares that knowledge with us, to not be so fucking distracted to where we don't pay attention, like people could get ahead. It's domestication. We're all domesticated, fucked up.
Man,
like that's what's perpetuated racism and prejudices and all that shit. It's all fucking passed down,
Exactly.
And if you have to be able to know that even though they're your parents, even though they're your grandparents, even though it's your bloodline, them motherfuckers ain't right about everything.
Exactly.
They wasn't right about nothing. Hell, I don't even think any of my family smoked weed. They all missed out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to listen to a word none of them said. I'm like, you can't talk to me until you've done DMT, family member, because you ain't been where I've been. You know?
Right.
And that's a whole other conversation. We won't get on that. But, it's like little things. It's like, I don't believe that my grandparents, whoever they were, I didn't even have a good relationship with my grandparents. Never knew who my great-grandparents were. And they probably weren't right about anything. They knew how to grow crops. Like they had a farm and they worked their farm and they milled wood and shit. But like, I don't know how they were, and I probably wouldn't agree with them. They probably wouldn't like me. And that's just, you got to know that like people are always like, especially when it comes to like racism, it's like that shit is domesticated into you. You didn't just wake up and start hating somebody because of their race. You were taught that shit by society, by your family, by, people put that shit in your head. And that's what keeps perpetuating this downward spiral that we keep going into, is because nobody's just said stop. Just stop. Let's stop. Like, stop teaching this shit to people. That's how I feel about that. That's my
no, but you know what? You're so right about that, man. It's because me and my brother was talking about that. You don't you taught racism. You're taught it up for years and years and years. You're taught it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's on both sides. You know,
Yeah.
well, not just both sides because it's more than two races. But
Yeah, but you know,
but
I think it starts with history. Like, you know, in history, a buddy of mine the other day told me I learned exactly, and I know I call him a buddy. He's really a married in to my family, but he's very country dude, and I would go as far as to say this guy's kind of like a redneck, and I learned that where he learned to be prejudiced at, he learned it in history class. He was taught in history class prejudice because he was taught about slavery and he was taught about white over black and power and that. And
he must have went to Hunter's Lane.
He went, you know, it was taught. It was taught to him, and in that moment, he even said, he was like, because we had the same history teacher, and he said, he was like, I learned it in history, and I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. Whenever we were taught about slavery and stuff like that, and he was like, I had no idea until I was taught that at one point in time, white was over black in a power sense, you know, and he was like, that's what taught me. And then from then on out, it was entertainment, it was friends, it was family, it was that. So it's a domesticated problem.
You should really check out the show that we do on Wednesdays because, like you said, when I was in school, the only thing they taught me about my ancestors were you were a slave, you were a slave, you were a slave, and Martin Luther King. You were a slave and Martin Luther King. You know, but there was so many great, you know, powerful people that came from, you know, my ancestors that I never knew anything about.
Yeah.
You know, and
they got swept under the rug.
It did, you know. So I thank Mr. Sam Polk Jr. for having that show because he teaches me a lot, man. And that just goes with anything. It's not for somebody to teach you; it's for you to seek. You know, you have to go out and seek that knowledge. You can't just sit back and expect everything to be given to you, especially with all the technology we got at our fingertips now anyway. Yeah. So if you want to learn something, we can't use that excuse anymore about, oh, well, they didn't teach me that or I didn't know. No, you got to go out and research, man. You got to know. If you want to know, hell, you research these bullshit-ass lyrics from these new songs that come out. So if you can do that, go check out some of the history that we got, you know what I'm saying, because it's out there. And it's great people from every background, you know what I'm saying? So go check them out, man, because these people did some great things. And if you realize, you know what I'm saying, what type of history, you know, because everybody wasn't fucked up, all right? So if you realize that and you go back and you see some of these other great people that did something, maybe it'll change your thought pattern on how you think in today's time.
Yeah, and you need to think about who wrote the history books that are being taught to everyone. Like, who wrote that? That's like, you know, who put these facts together? You say they missed out. Yeah, they missed out on a whole lot of really cool stuff. But like you said, it's like all you were taught was slavery, Martin Luther King. And that right there, if you teach that to a young person, then they're going to feel like, well, I need to overcome that. Like it's like you're being taught that you're less than, and then you need to overcome. And it's like but you don't need to overcome because you're not that, you know, you're not that at all. And I just feel like that there's a lot of perpetuation of negativity that's taught to us, especially through history, definitely through entertainment, government, and all that stuff.
Exactly.
But what you got to do is you got to be smart enough to realize that all that shit is one big distraction.
Exactly.
It's not. None of it's even real.
I've been saying that.
It's just one big distraction for a bigger evil.
Exactly.
You know, we talked about this yesterday. It doesn't come down to color, doesn't come down to race, doesn't come down to whether you're gay or you're straight or you're black, you're white, you're man, you're woman, or any of that. It doesn't come down to any of that. It only comes down to there is good and there's evil.
Exactly.
That's it. That bottom line. And then people got to see that. They need to see that.
Do they want to see it? You know, but that's a subject for a whole nother topic. You know what I'm saying? Now, before we get out of here, man, we definitely want to touch bases with all the things that you got going on. How can people get in touch with you, and what projects do you have coming up? Because I know we was talking about virtual shows and everything of that nature. So let the people know you got a podcast. We need to know about that.
Yes.
Tell everybody that's listening to us, because we want our fans to go out and support you. Hey, if you're listening right now, Big Smo, go out there, like his page, subscribe to his YouTube. So, you know, here's the thing, people. It don't cost nothing to subscribe, okay? just go hit the damn button and you subscribe. You probably need to look at it no more, but you hitting that button helps out a lot. So just go ahead and do that. And while you at it, subscribe to my shit too. But let's talk about this real quick, man. Let everybody know how they can get in touch with you and what they can watch and all that good stuff.
So go to YouTube
go.
Just go to SMO Motion TV. And it's real easy. SMO Motion. You can figure it out.
No, they can't smoke. You got to
SMO. So it's SMO. MOTION. No, Smo Motion TV on YouTube. Everything else is under the Real Big Smo, because there's some fake ones out there, left and right.
Yeah, I talked to Big Smo the other day, and it was not you at all.
Not him. He's from India. He's like,
India.
hello.
I am Big Smo.
I am Big Smo. Beautiful lady. Can you send me $100 PayPal card?
I said, you ain't country.
Yeah, you ain't. This ain't Smo. So yeah, the Real Big Smo. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on Instagram. Instagram is where I really get down. If you want to follow me like on a daily basis, my stories on Instagram. It's just easier for me and it's nice. If you're a real fan and you want to holler at me and get a personal shout out, I don't know if you're hip to Cameo, but Cameo is an app and you can search me on there and you can. For like $10, you can get like the personalized.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
cool.
I do like, man, and it's gotten big. I do like 6 cameos a day. Like
that's nice.
Yeah,
dude.
it's just and it keeps it. It's a low cost, like $10. So if it's your your homie's birthday and he's a big fan, you can send me a message. Say, hey man, give me a birthday shout out for my buddy. It's real cool, very simple. So cameos, YouTube. Facebook, Instagram, go to the website, therealbigsmo.com. You can check out tour dates whenever life gets back to some sort of norm. But until then, we are gonna start developing a digital tour. And if you do follow me on any of my socials, you'll see as we roll that out. We got a new song that's about to come out for the Tennessee Titans. It's called Titan Time. So we got the theme song for the Titans.
I'm a Cowboy fan, so hey.
I don't even like football. I don't even watch football. I'm only a Titan fan because I live in Tennessee. I'm a Steelers fan.
I saw that. That's what I was going to talk about. But hey,
But I don't even. But I'm only a Steelers fan because my dad bought me a whole Steelers suit when I was like 7. So I was like, ooh, Steelers is my team. And my brother, he had the Cowboys. So he's always been the Cowboys.
Oh my goodness, they trying to cause conflict in the house at an early age.
But we didn't know football at that young age, like as far as like teams and stuff. So we were just like, okay, I'm the Steelers and you're the Cowboys because we had the uniforms and we would play in the yard with that shit. So, but we got a new song, Titan Time. We're hoping that football is going to come back around just for the sake of camaraderie amongst community. Like it's bigger than football. I don't care for football as far as like watching it and stuff, but I understand the camaraderie and I understand the community that's built around it. And I think that right now football is something that could really be helpful for each individual state's community, because it may be going to something that's completely whack as fuck, but you think that we don't know how to tailgate in our own backyard?
Right.
Like we can really show up and show out. If we're not going to go to the stadium and watch it, we'll have backyard football parties with fucking screens and the whole thing. So, we're hoping that something comes about, some sort of normality, at least that way that the song can get some traction.
Right.
But look for Titan Time coming out. That's like the next one. I'm working on a greatest hits album right now in the studio. So the content will just continue to come. It's out there. Go get the book, read the autobiography.
Now, talk about the podcast.
Yes.
Please talk about that.
So you can get the podcast as well as all of my music on Spotify. The podcast is separate from my music on Spotify, so you want to look up the podcast. It's called SMO Knows podcast.
SMO Knows.
Yeah, SMO Knows.
Kind of like Bo Knows.
Yeah, SMO Knows. And, you know, that was something that they used on the TV show and a commercial. It was, you know, we wrote this commercial. It was like, SMO Knows, country living. SMO Knows, this, that, and SMO Knows. And then my mama come out and she's like, SMO better get his big butt to the dinner table right now. So it was like, SMO Knows was always like this thing. So I was like, shit, we'll just call it the SMO Knows podcast. And we talk about anything because I like to think that I know a little something about everything. So we can talk about anything.
That's what's up, man. So y'all heard it here, man. Go check it out. SMO Knows, man. Hey, support. I'm real big on support. If you haven't noticed, man, I love to support. You know, a lot of times you don't get it in return, but hey, it is what it is. I put it out there. I support. And anybody who supports me and listens to me, man, I want you to go out and support Big Smo as well, because hey, man, it's the world's a big place. All right. It's enough of us to support multiple people, okay?
Yeah, we all eat.
Right, we all eating. So go out and support everybody, man.
And if you're not, let me know. I'll slide you something off my plate. I'll share, you know. I'll at least give you the meat. I just need to keep the veggies.
Smo, it's been a pleasure, man. We've actually went over about 30 minutes, but it doesn't matter because it's my show and I can do whatever the hell I want to do on my show. But hey, it was great having you in the studio today, man. I had a good time, man. We want you to come back. We got several different shows that you can come back and play around on the show, on the air with us, man. So,
anytime. I live right around the corner.
I know, and that's love right there. Because like I said before, man, this guy could have been doing anything. He could have been kicking it. He could have been resting if he wanted to. But he took his time and came on down to the studio and hung out with us for the Saturday Morning Talk Show, man. And we definitely appreciate that. But Smo,
let's be honest. I'd have been in the hammock smoking a blunt.
Well, we don't want you to mess up your heart rate or anything like that. But with that being said, man, we are finna get out of here this morning, man. Thank you for coming to hang out with us, man. And
thank
everybody, man. Hey, y'all have a good rest of the weekend. Go out there and enjoy yourself and be safe. Stay masked up. And hey, let's make it through this together.
Hey.